Hi, my name is Sam Johnson and I am a voice teacher. I'm going to be reacting to and analyzing Ignazio Boschetto singing Caruso.
Qui dove il mare luccica e tira fuori il vento su una vecchia terrazza davanti al golfo di Sorrento.
Okay, so it's a classical song, but it's being done in this crossover style of pop opera type stuff, where often you have a lot more vibrato. There's more of an expectation for open vowels for a lot of it, just to get a bigger, more round sound. But at the same time, unlike regular opera, he's much more willing to go into a breathier, kind of closed down spoken vowel sound, which I haven't seen from a lot of traditional opera singers. Also, using a mic is just a big change from opera. Good, so it was a little bit wider. Bam versus bam. If he was trying to get more of an opera sound, it would be round and down. This is one of the ways that it doesn't sound like pure opera. It sounds like pop opera, which is fine. It's great. People love it. He's singing well, actually, still. I do think that if he dropped it a little bit, he could maintain that characteristic, that ringing forward quality, get a little bit more roundness, but still not sound completely opera. He'd just have to go, it's just a small little change. It's not a huge change. Oh, it's great. I love that vowel. That e vowel is so forward, and he's using it well to help find this really ringing forward place, which often in basically across all pedagogy schools, the desired effect is kind of a ringing feeling in the front of your face. Whether people call that forward or they call it placing it in the mask or whatever, that's pretty universal among teachers. There are some people who don't really chase that quite as much, and that's their prerogative, but it's pretty common for that to be what we ask for. He's doing that. If he wanted it to be a little bit more open and forward still, that would sound more traditionally classical or traditionally operatic. Nice. Yeah, it's really just a slightly tighter vowel. That's pretty much it, and I've believed this for a long time, that basically the only difference between singing this kind of stuff and purely classical stuff is you drop your jaw a little bit. Like, the vowel is actually pretty good. It's not super compressed. If you just dropped it, it would give it this more open classical sound. Obviously, he knows how to do that. He doesn't want to do that. That's not what Il Volo is trying to do. So it's working. He's successful.
Della lirica, dove ogni dramma è un falso, che con un po' di trucco e con la mimica puoi diventare tu. Ma due occhi che ti guardano così vicini e veri, ti fa scordare le parole, confondono i pensieri. Ma sì,
that was a beautiful vowel. That was so good. That it wasn't really round. It was just a little bit just a little roundness of the lips that gave it the quality of the word. But then the rest of it was just forward and rather than he wasn't trying to manipulate all the space. And you don't need to in actual opera either. Like, for what he's doing, it's great, but for actual opera, again, it would just be drop the jaw slightly. I'm only changing my chin. It's just dropping a little bit. It's not a huge change.
E ricominciò
Took a second to tune. I love how little he's working. So that was a little bit squeezed. I think that that's part of the risk that you run if you don't open up a little bit more up in this area. It's because of the sound that he's trying to get, but if you don't drop a little bit, sometimes you get a little bit compressed, and that can lead to things that are a little inconsistent. The last phrase, it was still fine. It just had a little bit of squeeze, and so it sounded inconsistent near the end of it. Again, looking at the entirety of the piece and the entirety of the phrase, I don't think anyone cares. Like, it doesn't matter that he had that little inconsistency, because right after he found where he needed to be again. And that's the important thing, is when you're a good singer, you can figure out what went wrong and then make that change in real time, because the voice is changing all the time based on what you ate an hour ago, or how you slept, or if you're a smoker, or if you did all sorts of different things. I mean, it's biological, and it's constantly changing. And so you need to be able to make these little adjustments in live performance. That's one of the reasons a good warm-up is so effective and so important, because if you warm up well, you know kind of what you're in store for, and you can expect the sounds that you're gonna make because you've already been through them. You know, like, how your instrument is working that day. And I'm sure he warmed up. I'm sure that he's done all of this. He's really good. I just wish that he would narrow it a little bit. He's constantly in this place rather than more of a relaxed face. And it's, as it goes on, I'm just feeling like these cracks are a little bit more inevitable because of the time spent above G. And if you're spending that much time in this G and A area, he's obviously mixing, he's singing well, he's not just pulling chest voice up, but vowel matters immensely up in that area. Because if you're singing a low note, you can kind of get away with doing like a bunch of weird things with your vowel, because the harmonics are really close together. As we go higher, the harmonics are spread out a little bit more, and so vowels need to be more specific in order to tune to those higher harmonics. With this, it's just he's not completely tuning to it, and because of that, it's not the most stable, and it's just spending a lot of time up there that's hard. You can go up there a few times in a song or a few times in a show, and it's fine the way that he's doing. I'm just a little worried about maintaining that for a whole song. And you can see it because he started cracking a little bit, and it started getting a little bit tighter. It's still beautiful because he's good and he's put in the work. Him on his worst day is better than most people on their best day, but it doesn't matter. Everyone who's good can still get better. It was interesting on that top note, he went to a slightly deeper, darker, more traditionally classical E vowel. After he used that vowel at the top, when he started coming back down, it became more of that wider, brighter, less round place that he was using for most of it. So I kind of like that, especially in your lower register, just because it helps keep things forward. I just like forward feeling through basically your entire range. But it's just interesting. He's obviously knowing how to play around with these tones. So my only curiosity is if he's working on trying to get a little bit more relaxed in his jaw through some of this stuff. Just that little bit of relaxation and drop, I think, will help make it a little bit easier for him. Not that this is super hard, but when you're singing this high, every little bit makes a difference, and so that's kind of what I'd work on, but otherwise it was a really nice performance. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Share with your friends if you think that they learned something from this video. If you go check out my description, I have links to my Patreon and my Instagram, as well as a link to my website where you could go to sign up for voice lessons over Skype or FaceTime. Thank you for watching.